Hey, special educators. Welcome to Teach TaskBox Inspire, the podcast dedicated to making your job as a special education teacher easier by making your instruction more fun for you and your students. Inside each episode, you'll learn how to get the most use out of your task boxes in the classroom. I'm your host, Lisa Holiday from Chalkboard Superhero, a veteran special education teacher passionate about empowering you with purposeful teaching strategies, helpful tips and tricks, and other classroom management tools that will help you thrive in your role. Let's get started with today's episode. Hey there, special educators, and welcome back to another episode of Teach TaskBox Inspire. I'm your host, Lisa Holiday, and today's episode is a special one. I want to take you behind the scenes of something I've absolutely poured my heart into. Something I created because I needed it years ago, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Today, we're talking all about the Teach TaskBox Inspire membership, what it is, how it works, and why it just might be the thing that finally helps you feel a little bit more in control, a little less overwhelmed, and a whole lot more inspired in your special education classroom. Whether you're in an inclusion setting, self-contained setting, resource room, or pushing into Gen Ed, this membership was built for you. So let's start with the why. Let me take you back for a second. Years ago, I was juggling IEP caseloads, managing behaviors, rewriting data sheets on my lunch break, and trying to prep materials that actually worked for my students. I was staying up late, printing, laminating, cutting, sorting, and honestly, I was freaking exhausted. I loved my students, but I didn't love spending my nights trying to find meaningful materials that met their needs without a ton of prep work or guessing and going on the internet and just getting random things. So I created a system, a way to bring hands-on, visual, differentiated learning to my students in a way that worked with our routines, not against them. And over time, I realized other teachers needed this too. And that's how the Teach TaskBox Inspire membership was born. It's not just a subscription box. It's a monthly toolkit designed for special education teachers by a special education teacher. All right, so you might be like, all right, Lisa, what do I get? So each month, members receive a brand new bundle of printable, prep-ready task boxes, all designed around a theme and built to target those foundational skills across multiple domains. So here's what I include every single month. An ELA task box. Think, reading, sentence building, matching word to picture, depending on the month's theme. It's accessible for whatever grade band you choose because there are 3 grade bands. So you can pick a kindergarten through 2nd grade band, you can pick a 3rd through 5th grade band, and then I also have a life skills vocational grade band, which really works for students who are in vocational settings or the high school setting, for students who are self-contained. But you get 1 ELA task box, 1 math task box. Then the 3rd one is either a science or a social studies task box. I do flip back and forth every single month for those. I also include a life skills task box. And then the 5th one, I originally planned on doing just 4 task boxes, but I really thought I wanted to add that 5th one that always is an errorless learning task box. And if you don't know what errorless learning is, you can always visit my other podcast episodes or my blog post all about errorless learning and why it is so beneficial. But it's more than just the task boxes because in each box you have those visual directions and clear labels, and it's a little tiny box. It comes with Velcro, and sometimes it comes with markers or little clips that they could be using. You always have student response sheets or student record sheets where there's also answer keys. So students can, instead of using the interactive pieces, which is like those little Velcro pieces, they can always do that on top of recording their own answers. I also have used a ton of IEP goal aligning so that I could use these to kind of progress monitor my students' IEP goals. So every single month, you can actually grab this in 2 different versions. So the first version is a printable version where every single month in your email box, you will get this digital download where you can download this to your computer, print it out at home, and that's the $9 a month, right? That's so cheap. $9 a month, and you get 5 never been seen before task boxes that you can prep at home in your own time. However, if you're like me and you're like, no, I want these delivered to my house, my front door, I want a present every single month if you're bougie like me, and I just don't have the time to put all of these together, right? And so I had a lot of teachers reaching out to me and saying, can you put these together for me? And so that's why I created the physical version of the subscription box. So every single month you can pick that version and you will get it delivered. I do all of the prep work for you. Actually, I love this because I was able to hire my sister, which also gives her some extra income too, where she does a lot of this prep work for me because I have 3 young kids and I'm also a teacher. I don't have time to prep these either. So I am also extending employment to people that might need extra money too. So anytime you purchase a subscription, you're helping other people. So you might be saying, okay, Lisa, who is this for? If you're a special education teacher who, kind of supports students working below grade level, you're maybe teaching across multiple ability levels at once. Maybe you just need easy prep centers or morning work or independent stations. Maybe you just want to practice building independent skills. Maybe you are struggling with differentiating some materials. Then this membership was made for you. All right, so how does it work? Once you join, you'll immediately get access to that current month's resources. And then like clockwork, new resources will drip out every single month. So you will have to download that and then you'll get that link again to the brand new month. And you don't have to guess what to kind of teach or support. You don't have to search through 400 tabs. You just download, prep, and go. And the best part is it's low stress, low prep, and super high impact. So I created this membership because I've lived with the overwhelm. I know what it's like to want to do everything right for your students. And I feel like you're just, constantly behind. But here's the truth. You don't need to hustle harder. You just need tools that work. And that's kind of what this membership gives you. So if you've been wishing for a way to bring more structure, more engagement, more independence to your classroom, without working nights and weekends, this is your sign. So come join us inside the Teach TaskBox Inspire membership. I'll be waiting on the other side, cheering you on every step of the way. So let me just do a side note because I just want to say how much I have enjoyed using some of my creativity to kind of come up with brand new ways to practice any given skill. And so being in the classroom, I can also practice and see if these actually work. So all of the task boxes that I use are kid tested. Because I work with 5th graders, I'm able to practice that 3 to 5 grade band because they're on various levels. I do have young kids in my house, so I'm able to practice that K2 setting. And I also know people who I send out my vocational ones to, and they all love it. Most of the time, they give me recommendations, and the biggest praise I hear is because they're so interactive. Their students call them games. They want to play the games. They want to be interactive. They are bold colors, super cute designs, and they're interactive. And when they're playing these quote-unquote games, they're learning. They're practicing those skills. And a lot of times with students with special needs, they need those skills reinforced time and time and time again. So we want to be there and doing that for our students. So if you're ready, go ahead and click the show notes and click onto that Join This Membership and start with us today. That's all I have for you guys today. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Teach TaskBox Inspire. I hope you've gained some tips and motivation to fuel your week ahead. If you're ready to explore more strategies for empowering your students as independent learners, be sure to dive into my free training at chalkboardsuperhero.com/training. And don't keep all this knowledge to yourself. Share this episode with your special education teacher friends who could use some motivation and inspiration. One more thing before you go. If you're finding this podcast helpful and want to show support, head to Apple Podcasts and leave your rating and review. Until next time, keep teaching, task boxing, and inspiring.